Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Smart HVAC Marketing Podcast. My name is Eric Thomas, and I am the host of the show. And today we are joined by Jeff Mosler from Nexa. Jeff, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for inviting me today.
Absolutely. Thank you for joining me. So, Jeff, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and tell the listeners a little bit more about Nexa?
Great. My name's Jeff Mosler. I'm the CEO of Nexa. I am based in Austin, Texas, but our company has people around the US. Most of our folks are in Arizona and California. Nexa is a tech-enabled people power service. We are entirely focused on small and medium-sized businesses in the US, HVAC companies, plumbers, lawyers, medical offices. We are entirely focused on call center services, chat, text services, answering the phone when the phone needs to be answered to close a sale, book an appointment, handle a customer concern. We're very focused on revenue and customer experience outcomes for our clients.
Wow, that's awesome. So I heard you mention that it's essentially helping them with a call center and answering the phone. Why don't you explain a little bit more about how that works for a business owner?
Great, perfect. So we have over 500 people here in the US. We have over 5,000 clients. Many of those clients are HVAC companies, and we provide answering services, chat services, text services to really handle any interaction that comes in from a client's customer, prospective customer, hopeful customer, to handle that contact. And so we have people answering the phones during the day, doing 24/7. We have rollover services. So perhaps some of our clients have their own staff that answer some of their calls. And so, if the phones are really ringing, then it rolls over to us. Our focus is to handle that contact as soon as possible, catered and custom configured to our clients' needs. And so if it's a specific HVAC customer or client, we answer that phone call or answer that chat on behalf of the HVAC customer with our client's brand, our client's details. The customer thinks they're actually speaking to the HVAC company. And we are really focused on handling that call with top-notch customer service or booking that appointment, getting that customer scheduled, because we want to turn every lead into a real paying customer for our clients. And so we have people working around the clock on all different types of channels of communications, and our business has been growing. And one of the reasons it's been growing is because the experience and the return on investment that our clients see by using Nexa is there. And so we're really excited about this partnership with Rival Digital as well.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we'll definitely touch on that here in a second. But before we do, I wanted to ask a few more questions about kind of the specifics of how it works, because a lot of our listeners are smaller contractors, like I mentioned, usually one or two people. Sometimes they have the owner, a technician, a helper, and then maybe a bookkeeper. So they're usually a very small operation. And this is a service that I think they definitely could benefit from. So how do you all go about kind of handling the entire project from start to finish with a new client, as far as like getting the script prepared, finding out times when you'll need to have your call center active for them or rollovers? And so how does that all work?
Great. Yeah, great question. So let's say the company is Eric's HVAC company. And Eric might be the owner, or Eric might be a technician among several technicians. Really what Eric wants to focus on is doing the work, actually doing the HVAC work, being on site, making customers happy, changing out, replacing, improving HVAC systems. And so Eric's HVAC company can decide, hey, who's going to answer the phone? Am I going to answer the phone, Eric? Or am I going to have my technicians answer the phone? Or am I going to hire someone to answer phones? Or am I going to hire a service like Nexa to answer, my phones on my behalf? And most of our small contractors or SMB businesses hire Nexa to be that front person, that front office to answer all of those phone calls. We do more than that, though. We actually do chat and text. And so we can open up that aperture and get more contacts and more communications with both existing customers and prospective customers so that Eric and his team of technicians can focus on HVAC, of what Eric and the company does really well. So usually what happens is Eric will sign up for services with Nexa. We have a bunch of different plans, but our typical plans are per minute plans or per chat plans, which is a monthly cost. And you can sign up for an annual contract as well and get a great discount, or it can be a month-to-month plan. And the first thing that we do with Eric's HVAC company is we schedule maybe a 15 to 45 minute call to work through what is the branding, how should we answer the phone, what are the different options? When someone calls in, where should we schedule that appointment? What integration do we need, within the HVAC platform? And by the way, we have a lot of different integrations that we do with companies like ServiceTitan and Calendly and some other companies as well. We wanna be the front of Eric HVAC's company. And so that, first meeting of 15 to 45 minutes, we work on all of that programming information. We call it programming for onboarding. Then we turn all of that information over to a team of people on our team that programs and configures all of our chat client, our phone system, all of our platform, so that when the chat comes in or the text comes in or the phone call comes in, we know it's one of Eric HVAC's customers. And so we answer the phone properly. We do all the things that we need to do to ensure that customer has a great experience and to ensure that that schedule or that booking is made, so that after Eric finishes whatever work he's working on, he has a new customer that has been scheduled for the next day or the next day, or according to the availability. And so that onboarding process happens extremely quickly. We can be up and running the same day, next day. We will answer the phones throughout the night. We'll make sure that Eric is focused on what Eric does best, and that we as Nexa are helping Eric's business along.
That's awesome. So if a company has a 24-hour emergency service option, which a lot of HVAC companies do you all have representatives in your call centers that are taking those emergency calls throughout the evening and then forwarding the job along to the tech who's on call?
Around the clock. And so we don't even consider that emergency service. For Eric's company, it might be emergency service, but we are answering phones 24/7. We are answering chat and text 24/7. And we are booking the appointment according to whatever Eric's rules are. So if Eric wants that booking to happen that night for an after-hour service, great, we'll do that. If it's looking at Eric's calendar and seeing that he has an opening next Tuesday between 8 to 12, we do that. So it's all according to Eric's company's rules.
That's awesome. So what are some of the ways that you've seen contractors use your tool and integrate it with their software and tools that they use, such as ServiceTitan and House Call Pro?
Right, exactly. So we have many integrations with House Call Pro as well. So I've already actually been through a few of those scenarios. So one is ensuring that the technicians at the HVAC companies are doing what they do best, which is the work at the very high billable rate. And then we do all of the phone work to make sure that schedules are all booked up appropriately. So that would be one scenario. Another scenario is there's a lot of missed calls that come into our HVAC clients' phone system, because the technicians are working during the day, or maybe they turn off their phone at night. That's where we come in. We do not let any call go unanswered, or at least we try to not let any call or any contact go unanswered. So that would be another scenario. A third scenario, and we're going to talk about this partnership a little bit more with Rival Digital, but where we see a lot of benefit is to combine our service with a marketing company like Rival Digital, where the marketing service is generating a lot of increased traffic and demand, either through SEO or pay-per-click or reputation management or all sorts of other marketing activities. So then that generates more demand, more calls, more chats into the client. We answer those calls to make sure that those customers are booked.
Yeah. And that's something that I've really been interested in, really since getting started doing advertising and digital marketing for HVAC contractors is, I know there's tools out there that you can record phone calls that come through a Google ad or come through from the website. Um, but I've always been interested about the conversion, about the user clicking on the ad, going to the website, or the user clicking on the ad and calling directly, and being able to attribute that call to a particular dollar amount. Because sometimes there's a few gray areas in tracking. So how does that work for marketing efforts as far as like tracking and attribution?
Right, great question. So we can handle that a number of different ways. In some cases, we set up landing pages with specific numbers for different advertising campaigns, and so then we know when someone lands on that landing page or someone calls that specific number, we can attribute that call to that that business revenue. With chat and text, there's a lot of other opportunities for us to do this as well. Many HVAC companies and other types of small and medium-sized businesses, they don't offer chat, they don't offer text. And so if a potential client goes to a Google page or a Google My Business page, and maybe a phone number is offered, but in some cases chat is offered as well, that increases the amount of demand going to that SMB or to that HVAC company. So we can track it in that manner as well. ROI and attributing ROI with our services is really important. It's part of our value prop. We want to make sure that the contractors, the small and medium-sized businesses that are signing up with us are getting the ROI that they deserve and that they need to make our service make sense for them.
That's awesome. And so you all, do you all offer a reporting service of some sort on a regular cadence, or is it just available anytime on the dashboard?
We have both a dashboard as well as a system by which we can notify our clients every time there is a prospective client that calls in and that we close on their behalf. And typically, depending on how we're set up, and we can set this up a number of different ways, we can email the company, we can call the company, we can message the company, we can do a whole host of different things to let our clients know that we're generating business for them or that we're answering calls for them in a service fashion.
Nice. So, what are a few success stories that you all may have experienced with clients of yours where they were missing revenue opportunities and then began utilizing your service and then turned those calls into paying customers?
Yeah, what we see a lot of, especially for home services, whether it's plumbing or HVAC companies, is the speed at which we answer the phone is so much faster than when companies do it themselves. And for an HVAC, a prospective HVAC client or a plumbing customer, if a customer needs a repair, if a customer needs a leak repaired, or the air conditioning is not working in the summer, they will call all the HVAC companies until there is a company that answers the phone and gets that customer booked. And so just by answering the phones extremely quickly, we see a much higher ROI on our service. So that's one great use case. Another use case is the ability to answer the phone and then open up to these other channels like chat and text. It increases demand. If you're closed down for the evening, if people aren't answering the phone, if you don't answer the phone after 8 o'clock at night, you're missing all of that great demand that comes in between 8 p.m. and 8 a.m. the next morning. And we know, and I know just based on my house, Plumbing usually breaks at 10 o'clock at night. The air conditioning usually goes out for
Yeah,
whatever reason at 10 o'clock at night. And so that's when all the crazy stuff happens. And so by opening up hours of operation, at least to book those next appointments, either in emergency service fashion or the next day, we see so much more demand coming into our clients just by providing 24/7 service.
that's awesome. And I think that's just a service that a smaller or medium-sized business can really benefit from, especially as they try to figure out if they're looking to grow the business or just kind of get their roots planted in the in the industry, getting started. That's really something that I think could really benefit them. Uh,
It yeah,
oh, go ahead.
it's a great way to get started. It's also a great way to grow because the since we're a shared service model, you pay as you go. We answer the phones as if we represent, right, the client, but you don't need to invest in a full-time hire or three full-time hires to go across 24/7 or 7 day 24 hours or 7 days a week. This is a pay-as-you-go service, and so you can sign up for a month and a specific amount of minutes in a month, and you can both upgrade or downgrade for the next month, or cancel if it's not working. We typically don't see our clients cancel, but it's a great way for a starting contractor or maybe a smaller, medium sized contractor to grow their business without putting all of that initial investment into hiring their own staff.
Yeah, and if you save the money from hiring the staff, you can invest more in your marketing with
That's
Rival
right.
Digital.
That's right. I mean that's the best case scenario. You're saving money by paying for this service. More demand is coming in, which you're generating into paying customers, and then you're using that money, whether it's reduced costs or increased revenue, to then get the flywheel going for more marketing, more demand gen, more answering the calls, turning those calls into customers.
Yeah, that's awesome. So earlier, when we were talking before we started, I remember you mentioning that you actually have a background in working for a marketing company and doing that kind of stuff. So, how has your experience with that helped you shape this company as you guys move forward into the future?
Yep. So the company that I worked for previously, we did all social media marketing and management and website design and creation and SEO for small and medium-sized businesses. So we had home services customers, we had restaurants, spa salons, automotive shops, like your whole spectrum of SMBs throughout America. We had over 20,000 paying customers. Um, I love working with SMBs, being able to see the fruits of our labors with SMBs and helping those SMBs grow and grow profitably and be able to scale. And so I really enjoy the category of working with small and medium sized businesses and adding value. And so as I think about Nexa, it's very similar. We have people powered, tech enabled services to support local companies, small and medium sized businesses to be able to improve their service, grow their revenue, help them with marketing. I really enjoy it.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, is there anything that that I may have missed or didn't ask before we move on to some of the stuff we're going to wrap up with?
I think just to reiterate, we're all about value creation. We're trying to create value for our clients, and that usually is through improved service, reduced costs, growing revenue, growing demand. This is what we focus on, and it's custom to each of our individual clients.
Awesome. Well, if you're listening to this either live or in the future, um, Rival Digital and Nexa have partnered up. So, if this is something that you think could benefit your business, let us know because we can offer you a few months at a discounted rate. I believe. I'm not sure the entire details of that all. We're still working that out, but we can help you get started. And this is something that we really think could help you with your business as you grow. So, Jeff, I really appreciate you coming on the show with us today. Is there any way that people could learn more about Nexa or even get started and sign up?
Yeah, perfect. So we have our phone number on our website, nexa.com. That's nexa.com. You can email me directly at jeff.mosler, Mosler, at nexa.com. We'd love to be able to help.
Awesome. Well, Jeff, I appreciate you taking some time out of your afternoon to be on the show with me. Hope you have a great rest of your day.
You too. Thank you very much.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.